There is a cleansing needed in our FBI and Department of Justice. It needs to be cleansed of individuals who should not just be fired, but who need to be taken out in handcuffs. Now, there have been times in our history when corruption and lawlessness were so pervasive that examples had to be made. This is one of those times. Handcuffs for Andrew McCabe, Deputy Director of the FBI, the man at the hub protecting Hillary and attempting to destroy Trump. Now, according to Senate Judiciary Chair Grassley, and confirmed, being investigated by the Department of Justice for seeking money for his wife's campaign to run with Hillary from her bagman, Terry McAuliffe, chairman of her presidential campaign and board member of her Clinton Foundation, that slush fund. All the while, McCabe was investigating both Hillary and McAuliffe. Grassley says McCabe, and we've confirmed this as well, is also being investigated by the Office of Special Counsel for violating the Hatch Act, which prohibits political activity by federal employees, for using his government email account to distribute contents in his wife's campaign. And at the height of political chutzpah, he actually sends his FBI resume to McAuliffe before he and his wife meet to grovel for Clinton cash. There are also photos of him campaigning for his wife. Now, McCabe is also being investigated by the EEOC on the complaint of a female FBI agent. All investigations have been going on for almost a year, while McCabe still works for our FBI and collects a check from us. Handcuffs, too, for Peter Strzok, a high-ranking FBI agent working under McCabe, the one who actually changed the language from grossly negligent to extremely careless in Jim Comey's exoneration of Hillary Clinton. And also at the hub, Strzok worked with Christopher Steele, the one who wrote the Trump dossier, created, bought, and paid for to destroy Donald Trump by the Clinton campaign. Reports are that Strzok was the one who signed the application for a FISA warrant, which was then used to surveil Trump's campaign, which was then used to illegally unmask Americans. But of course, the new director of the FBI, Christopher Wray, refuses to give up that information. And Strzok, after being loaned from the FBI to Mueller's team, almost one and the same at this point, is removed from Mueller's team because of anti-Trump text messages to his mistress, a lawyer for the FBI. And to show you how screwed up Washington is, they send an FBI married guy having an affair with an FBI lawyer to work in human resources, as if he's qualified to counsel on how to conduct yourself at work. And by the way, if that's the only reason Strzok was demoted, why wasn't she demoted? Maybe because that's not the only reason. And Bruce Orr, Assistant Deputy Attorney General, another beaut. He secretly meets with the guys from Fusion GPS, the ones who received money indirectly from the Clinton campaign to write the fake dossier bought and paid for by the Clinton campaign to destroy Trump. And James Comey, the one who exonerated Hillary before the investigation was completed. The man who, with one question, could have indicted Hillary. Did you send United States classified information on an unsecure server? If she says yes, that's a crime. And if she says no, that's a lie. You remember Comey, the one who conducts himself in a holier-than-thou manner. People at the FBI called him Cardinal Comey behind his back. So political, so corrupt. He decides to take over the Attorney General's job to announce no charges against Hillary. The one warning Hillary Clinton at every stage what he's looking for: her iPhone, her laptop, her server, giving her the chance to delete 33,000 emails and then permission to obstruct justice with a hammer, bleach bit, and a delete button. Now, you remember when Comey reopened Hillary's case in October before the election, right after he exonerated her? Everyone started saying, look, this guy is so fair. Folks, he wasn't being fair. The NYPD was going to out him when they found classified information on dirtbag pervert Anthony Weiner's laptop from Uma and Hillary and Robert Mueller. In a year with a team dedicated to destroying Donald Trump, he can't come up with one piece of evidence. And as hard as the mainstream media tries to make stuff up, like Brian Ross with ABC, CNN, Bloomberg, Reuters, and the Washington Post all in 1 week, they have nothing. So this week, Christopher Wray, the new FBI director, refuses to provide Congress with information.
Did Peter Strzok help produce and present the application to the FISA court to secure a warrant to spy on Americans associated with the Trump campaign?
Congressman, I'm not prepared to discuss anything about a FISA process in this setting.
What was presented to the FISA court?
I do not believe that I can legally and appropriately share a FISA court submission with this committee.
In truth, nothing prohibits the FBI from giving Congress that information. So why is Wray punting? Because a politically contrived dossier used by the FBI to generate surveillance on Trump by the opposing party in a presidential election spells disaster. For the better part of the last year, you and I have watched together as members of Congress beat their chest every time they have a hearing. Well, I, for one, am tired of investigations, politicians posturing. Something more has to be done. The stench coming out of the Justice Department and the FBI is like that of a third world country where money and bullies and clubs decide elections. It all started when Cardinal Comey destroyed our FBI with political hacks to set events in motion to destroy the Republic because they didn't like the man we chose to be our president. Well, it's time to take them out in cuffs. And that's my open. Tell me what you think on my Facebook page, Twitter, and Instagram, hashtag Judge Jeanine.
All right. I had a bad enchilada. I think I need something to make me puke.
Oh, breaking news. ABC News' Brian Ross is reporting Michael Flynn promised full cooperation to the Mueller team and is prepared to testify that as a candidate, Donald Trump directed him to make contact with the Russians. Yes! He goes to jail. He goes to jail. He goes to jail. Lock him up. Lock him up.
It's like she discovered a new planet made of pound cake. But no, just more bad news on Trump that later turned out to be false. Yes, the media got another thing wrong on Donald. And poor Joy, it's like Christmas when her parents promised her a pony, and instead she got measles. And poor ABC's Brian Ross, who got it wrong, saying Trump told Flynn to contact Russia when he was still a candidate, but then changed it later to president-elect. ABC has now banned Ross from doing any stories on Trump. That should be... I didn't expect applause there, but that should be no problem. It's not like Trump's in the news at all. My God, what's this poor guy going to cover now? The hottest Christmas toys? That's going to be a problem.
I come when the trumpet sounds. I am the storm, the great American grizzly. Introducing the original Trumpy Bear, the fearless, super plush American grizzly. Trumpy Bear was born June 14th, Flag Day. Just find the secret zipper and pull out the American flag-themed blanket. Then wrap yourself in the red, white, and blue for comfort and warmth.
Wish I had a flag hidden in my butt. So, and maybe one day that will happen. How How was Trump's week? Well, he wasn't impeached, but they tried.
Donald John Trump, President of the United States, is unfit to be president and is impeached for high misdemeanors.
Sounds like you're high. Look, this guy knows it was never gonna happen. It's like setting your mom up with Kevin Spacey. You're just wasting everybody's time. A lot of fans of Spacey here. Loved it and pay it forward. Okay. And yet, as they tried to dump Trump, they lost Franken. But hey, grab a seat, you lose a seat. And now Trump's tax bill is about to pass, though some of it think it's the end of the world. Literally, the end.
It is the end of the world. This healthcare, the debate on healthcare is life, death. This is Armageddon. This is a very big deal.
Scary stuff. It's no wonder her face is frozen in fear. But no matter what Trump does, it's always the end of the world. Recognizing journalism as Jerusalem as Israel's capital, end of the world. Supreme Court okays the travel ban, end of the world. Steaming your pants while standing, end of the world.
Do you steam the president's pants while he's wearing them?
Look, of course.
Of course. That's a big story from Corey, hot pants. And hot food.
When the president would order for dinner 2 Big Macs, 2 filet-of-fish sandwiches, and a chocolate milkshake and eat all of that, were you concerned about him?
Well, he never ate the bread, which is the important part.
It is! That is the important part. This is yet more proof that Donald Trump is the billionaire we'd all want to be. Flying in your own jet, eating 8 Big Macs, while a guy with a buzz cut steams your crotch. I mean, wouldn't you? So recap, as the media and that brain cockatoo, Joy Behar, are losing it over Russia, the markets keep climbing. Foreign investors are piling back into the U.S. market. We've had 3 fiscal quarters of over 3% growth, with the next projected even higher. Illegal migration is dwindling. Trump's packing the federal courts with talent. He's repealed the Obamacare mandate, also opens the Alaska onward to drilling. He's cutting regulations, shrinking government. He's finally gotten China's attention on North Korea and tightened our relationship with India, which was needed. So take a step back and ignore the media-generated noise and some of his self-inflicted wounds. And Trump's becoming pretty consequential, and it's changing people's brains.
The only thing I was good at was the timpani. And I think the reason I was good at the timpani is because I really enjoyed hitting things with sticks. Stories that don't make sense at first, but then down the road, hey, come back, do it again. Do it again. Go the other way. Do it backwards. Yeah, good. Come back that way. Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Oh, come on. I think this Russia thing is doing her in. I know just the thing she needs.
Simply style his trademark hair and place him in his favorite chair. Even the toughest guys will love Trumpy Bear.
When America is great, business is great. When business is great, I'm great. I love you, Trumpy Bear.
I love you too, Trumpy Bear. Let's welcome tonight's guest. He's the Doctor of Love and all you ever dreamed of. Host of the Dr. Drew podcast, Dr. Drew Pinsky. She's so bright you'll see spots when she leaves. Legal analyst and former federal attorney Emily Campagno. If you don't have anything nice to say, she'll say it for you. National Review reporter Kat Timpf. And the Eiffel Tower is his toothbrush. Former bodyguard, massive sidekick Tyrus. Dr. Drew.
Hang on, Greg. I don't know. How do you do that? What do I do?
It's a gang signal.
Oh, so,
you just got 4 people killed.
Extensive street knowledge.
Just by doing. There's a guy being shot right now because of you.
I just became the whitest guy in America.
Yeah.
No, you're actually next to him.
Yeah. All right, they're already starting on me. I haven't even asked you a question, Dr. Drew.
Yeah.
Some shrink you are coming after me. All right, there's a real contrast here between the psychological impact of Trump.
Yes.
You see this stuff going on, people melting down, versus the actual concrete evidence of the impact of what he's doing.
Right.
How do you see them as equal, or what's going on?
No, I think it's part of how he navigates. I think he sees everything in life as winning, and he gets there by You've ever interviewed Scott Adams?
Yes.
Right.
Of course. He was on this show.
Right. So he sees everything as a negotiation. So he takes these extreme positions. People go nuts over them.
Yes.
And then he uses that as a way to get things where he wants it to go.
Mm-hmm. And that's what happens. So people, Emily, when they hear him, they don't know what to think, and they kind of miss out what actually happens later, I guess.
Absolutely. And in all of those examples, the topics that you cited earlier, just yesterday, the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals heard the injunction appeal of Maryland. And the judge, during oral arguments, the judge said, do you expect me to ignore reality that this ban isn't about simply discriminating against Muslims? So no matter what, the people are not, well, the judges are being activists, but the people aren't hearing the right picture. And the Poynton Institute this week came out with a poll that determined almost half of Americans believe that the media fabricates stories about Trump more than once in a while, and a third believe it's the enemy as well. So we are the ones that are getting the disservice from the media's failure to portray it accurately.
Greg, just to be sure, am I on the media right now? Is this
Yeah, we're blaming you as well.
Just to be clear. Okay.
We're blaming you.
Sure I got it.
I think Loveline, everything on Loveline was fake news.
Yeah.
Celebrity Rehab, fake news.
Fake
news. All right, Kat, I'm suffering from apocalyptic exhaustion. Every day the world is supposed to end. That's how you live your life.
Yeah, with a lot of anxiety constantly. So I'm just used to it. It's just kind of the same thing as it's always
Is that
been.
why she asked me for Xanax?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
I'm sure what that
you're
was
a doctor. Who else am I supposed to ask?
Yes.
So that's another reason why I don't understand how Mr. Ross messed up this story. You think you'd have some anxiety before dropping a bombshell like that. That would be like going around your entire office and saying that two people are having an affair without bothering to check and see if either of them were actually even married first.
Yes. You know, Tyrus, are you concerned at all about the president's diet? And would you ever steam his pants?
No, I'm just. I knew it was not a real story because they left out the fries. If she's not eating the bread, you know. That's what for each fry for each Big Mac and the fries. So you have 4 boxes of fries. Of course, his ass ain't eating the bread.
But isn't this how you would be if you were president and a billionaire? Eating fast food on your own jet?
No, because I like meat.
Yeah.
So I like steaks and stuff. So taxpayers be paying for a lot of fillets. But just keeping it real, I'd be a little more flamboyant. You know, it'd be the first chain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It'd be a lot of things. It'd be like
fast food
weekend barbecues at the Prez house. Like we do a little more. It'd be a little more kickback.
Yes.
You know, I honestly like to go back to your point when you. Hold on. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm still stuck on Pelosi. Y'all know she was drunk, right?
Really?
It's Armageddon. She didn't know where the camera was at. She's like, someone needs to pay this tab. Like she was faded. Like, Nancy, I'm telling you right now, it was about to get real in there. It's about to talk about people. Poor lady. Trump got her drinking all the time.
All right. What was going to be your next point?
My point is that if you take Donald Trump's personal stuff, you're not going to like him.
Yeah.
But that's not what he was elected. He's good at business.
Yeah.
He's bad at being a person.
Even he knows
economy's up, frowns are down. You know what I'm saying? But I'm good with that. I don't have to high five him.
Yeah, you know, I think he's an odd phenomenon. He's half man, half meteor.
Well, but that's that manic quality that a lot of business guys have. And I was sort of thinking to myself historically, where have there been personalities and these manic types in the presidency? Teddy Roosevelt, same dude.
Yes.
So it can work for you. Who knows how it's going to turn out?
Yeah.
Well, he's an old grandpa, though.
Yeah, he's an old grandpa.
He's an old grandpa from the fit. You don't have to go all the way back there to find one. Just go down the street and stand around somebody's house after 7 o'clock. Get out of my house, whatever you are. He pays his bills, he keeps the lights on, but he's not fun to play around because he's an old man.
I also think going after fast food is a class thing.
Yeah, I ate a cheeseburger from McDonald's while I was getting a pedicure the other day, and I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think that's great.
You weren't there during that time, but if they were getting this information from a political party and then using it for surveillance against an opposition party candidate, that's a problem. Do you agree that that would be a problem for the American people?
I do agree, Congressman, that any inappropriate use of the FISA process for political purposes is something that we should all be very concerned about and take very seriously.
That's FBI Director Christopher Wray getting grilled on the Hill by my next guest, Congressman Ron DeSantis, who is fighting for the truth the American people deserve to know. Congressman DeSantis joins me live on the phone. Okay, so we couldn't get you to a studio. Congressman, we appreciate your being here. Did you get any answers that day when you sat and Christopher Wray appeared before you?
Not what we had hoped for, Judge. There's a number of pieces of evidence that Congress needs to have access to, starting from the role of this guy, Peter Strzok, who got removed from Mueller's investigation. He was the lead agent for Hillary, conducted the interview of things like Cheryl Mills. I think he was involved in the dossier. We want to know what his role is, whether the FBI paid for the dossier, whether Strzok was involved in using the dossier to get surveillance. We got answers of none of those.
Okay. Now, given that you did not get answers, and we've been asking questions for the better part of a year, the question now is, and you can understand the frustration of the American people, the question is, we don't want to keep with this every day, you know, let's ask another question, we want answers. So let's talk about contempt. Senator Grassley, chair of the Senate Judiciary Committee, has sent 3 letters to Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. And Rod Rosenstein has not answered any of them about Andrew McCabe and the FBI and the investigations of him by the DOJ, by the Inspector General, by the Office of Special Counsel, EEOC. And what do you do to get answers from Rosenstein?
Well, he's going to come before the House Judiciary Committee on Wednesday, and it's my belief that if he's not willing to produce those answers, if he's not willing to produce some of the information that we've been asking about now for months, then Congress needs to hold him in contempt. You can't just thumb your nose at the American people and not produce documents and not produce witnesses that Congress is entitled to and think you're just going to get away with it.
All right. Christopher Wray did not answer a lot of the questions, especially a question from Jim Jordan regarding whether or not Peter Strzok was the affiant on that application for the FISA warrant. If that were the case, of course, then there is a disaster for this nation where the FBI is getting involved in a presidential campaign with a fake dossier to destroy an opposing political party. So we didn't get an answer from Christopher Wray when the truth is he didn't have a legal reason to prevent us from finding out who signed that affidavit for the warrant. All right. What do we do to Christopher Wray?
Classified.
Right.
It is not classified. It's not sources and methods. There are some interesting information about what may be in that affidavit, but we weren't even asking about that. We were just asking about, was Strzok the affiant, and then did he use information gleaned from the dossier? Very simple question. So Devin Nunes, who's been doing a great job, he has warned both the FBI director and Rosenstein, the Deputy Attorney General, that they're walking into potential contempt of Congress. And I told the FBI director that myself. I said, your answers aren't acceptable.
I have a short period of time left.
To do that.
Congressman, Christopher Wray, head of the FBI, will refuse to give you information. Rosenstein, I believe, is going to refuse to give you information. Are you, and do you have permission of the leadership, Paul Ryan, to hold Rosenstein in contempt if he appears in Congress and does not give you the answers that you want?
Yes. So I spoke, as Jim Jordan and I spoke with the Speaker. He correctly says we deserve this information. He wants the information. If we can get that before the hearing, great. But if not, he is absolutely prepared to authorize a contempt citation against the Deputy Attorney General. And just think about that, being held in contempt. Eric Holder, I think, was the only other high government official who's been held in contempt, you know, in the last many years.
But Congressman, nothing happened to Eric. He was held in contempt. We want a contempt, if that is deserved, and then a sanction for contempt. Anyway, Ron DeSantis, Congressman, we'll have you on next weekend to hear what happens. Thank you.
Thanks, Judge. Have a good one.